Hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force. And we're here today to look at page 22 of issue 2 of Blood Force. And if you want to support Blood Force, best thing to do is to look at the description. There's a link there that'll take you to my Patreon. And that's where all of the Blood Force stuff is. That's where all these videos go before they get uploaded to YouTube. So if you like behind the scenes stuff or getting content before everybody else, that's where you want to go to. But we're just looking at the video today. And this is a big old punch to the face. That's the whole point of this page, basically. And this was one that was on a live stream. And I was able to get this thing done in like 2 days, too. I was rather pleased with that. Although, it's not like it's a difficult page. Maybe a little difficult to get it right. I'm trying to figure out where that leg goes. Yeah, like trying to really twist up Cyberzerk here was a little tough. You know, we needed some Stormwatch as reference. I think I decided what I wanted was some Scott Clark for reference for the shoulders, and it still didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it, but it looks okay. And I mean, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to talk about here. There's not exactly a lot to explain. So, big old punch to the face. I think I just said that. Yeah. It'd be nice if I could see the whole thing a bit more, but oh well. Oh, that works better. Yeah, no, I spent a while on the pencils on this because I'm always trying to kind of, I don't know, lengthen that out a little bit. I don't spend much on it. Like, the pencils for this whole page were like 45 seconds. No, they weren't. 45 minutes. Like that. And it's, if you spend another 15 pages on there and get some more lines in, maybe it makes the inking a little easier. I don't know if it's really necessary because I enjoy the making it up part of the inking, but it seems like it should make the job simpler, which would be a good thing theoretically. And I actually ended up looking at back muscles for hard here because I really wanted to torque them up here. And I think I accomplished that quite well. There's a lot of me looking at flexing references. Like flex, like my search history for a little while there was like back muscles flex, tricep flex, quad flex rear. Forearm flex. And then I look that stuff up and I put it all in and then I add shit on top of it because that's the image way. And it ended up looking kind of awesome. So I guess that's how I got to do things. So the only thing wrong with this pose here so far, I was able to get it pretty much all the way right. The only thing I didn't like was Cyberzerk's right hand here. It feels a little bit like he's reacting, which he shouldn't be. He should just be like ragdolling. Because he caught him completely by surprise. And getting some really thick lines here for the outline for hard. Because I want that, I want it to feel like he got hit by a tree, basically. A little bit thinner on Cyberzerk here. And again, like really thick on that, on the fist itself, actually. Like, it's like a sledgehammer. And then like on the back of Cyberzerk, then I can go thicker again on the black lines. And I think it all kind of worked out. There's always a lot of maybe this will work when I'm using the brush. Most of the time it kind of does. The brush is kind of good that way. All right, let's get to actually making up some muscle groups. That looks pretty good. It doesn't look quite this good again once I shade everything in. Yeah, it's okay. That's all right. Shoulders are one thing. I always feel like I understand how I want to draw them, and then I draw them, and it's like, oh, maybe not. This is the last of the flaky silver pen. I would have missed it, except it got all flaky and, like, dug into my skin. Yeah, some big black shadows. And then just hatch around everything. I mean, these are kind of like the muscle groups. There's just more of them. Makes sense. Right? Sense is what that makes. If you work out more, you make more muscles. Spontaneously. Yeah, this arm, I think I spent like at least half an hour drawing this arm. Which feels excessive when you say it like that. But like, goddamn, did this arm end up looking great. And it's the whole point of the page, so it's like, well, yeah, you should then. Oh. Something important about that shoulder pad. I have no idea what it is now. I should go back and check out the live stream. That's what I should do then. No, I shouldn't. Nobody should watch that thing again. If you're there on the day, that's cool. I mean, if you want to see how it went, that's all right. Although on this one, I managed to point my fan directly at the microphone for like the entire 3.5 hours. So every once in a while, it's just like... Maybe I'll remember not to do that next time. I don't know if I have that much faith in myself, though. Oh, yes, and the inspiration for this, of course, was many Savage Dragon comics. Where, you know, there's a big old punch and somebody goes flying. See Savage Dragon #1 versus Cutthroat. See, you know, like there's all sorts of shit like that. That was kind of what I was going for. I think I kind of, I don't know. I was debating the best way to execute this because ideally I think you want hard smaller to indicate that Cyberzerk is flying away. The problem is I want Cyberzerk to look huge in like everything. I want that arm to look massive. But then, you know, like Cyberzerk here is flying away, but he's not flying very far, at least not yet. So it just kind of looks like him and Hart are the same size, almost. I don't know. Yeah. I got to think a little bit more about that next time. I'm not complaining with how this page turned out, because it turned out pretty great. It's just things to think about for next time. That back looks fucking crazy. Backs are something I always have problems with, and then this turns out like this awesome. I mean, you know, that's what happens when I looked at references, right? But it's awesome because he's doing all the flexing and stuff. Normally, when I have trouble doing backs, people are just standing there. I mean, even if they are image people, you know, I should keep this particular panel around just for, you know, like do a slightly loosened version of this, slightly. For next time you want to draw like just a dude walking from the back, or you know, don't draw dudes walking from the back. Why would you do that? Got some good hands going on this page, too. Got a little bit of luck there. Hands is always a little bit dependent on luck. Because you always, like the hands in your head. You know those hands you got in your head? When you think about drawing hands in your head, like they always look fine. And then just somewhere along the way, something fucks up, right? Everybody has that, right? What are the number of lines I have to add to this shoulder to make it look good? I mean, for one thing, I forgot about the segments on the metal arm here, or the metal shoulder, which is like, that's the basic thing, man. Come on. Yeah, no, something about the shiny though doesn't end up looking right. Eventually, it looks acceptable. It's not. It doesn't look awesome. I don't think at any point, but acceptable is good enough. Particularly when the punch looks awesome. And this forearm actually ended up looking quite interesting. Get all these tendons in here and then get everything like bunching out from whatever that thing is that kind of springs out from your elbow. It doesn't quite look like this, like what I drew here. But that's kind of, you know, that's a very exaggerated version of how those muscles actually kind of go. I'm quite pleased with how this arm turned out, really, aside from the shoulder. Yeah, there's very little on this page, actually. Like, isolated. If you were to isolate it from everything else, that doesn't look good. Together, it's not quite as good as I would hope, but it's still pretty great. It might still stand as the... There have been a few pages where it's like, this might be the best page in the book. This one is in contention. I don't think it wins. I think that flying kick page still wins. But, no, pretty good. And trying to draw this ass. Something went wrong, and like, nope, that's not how you draw an ass. So, black it all in. He's from the rear here anyway. It don't matter that much. Even these like quad muscles and tendons and shit ended up looking all right. And those are one of those things that I often draw, and I'm like, it feels like there should be more here. Just more lines, more hatching, more tendons. I don't know, something. I like the backs, like the tendons here coming down from the calves. I think I just figured that out a little while ago. Because you don't draw the backs of calves too often, or I don't. And something clicked recently where it's like, oh, no, now I get it. And I kind of like how the calves here look. And then this expression on Cyberzerk's face, this is like the one time he really gets hit. You know, Fireburn kind of catches him off guard, but he gets himself under control pretty quick. This is like getting full flush in the face, just hammered. Wasn't expecting it, and you can kind of tell under whatever that thing on his face is that did not go as planned. I enjoy that shit. Yeah, look at those tendons. Those look all right. Oh, we're discussing things, I think. There we go. Oh, now we get to do the hair. Yeah, like I said, it does a pretty good job of conveying motion. It's actually not all that hard to fill up either. And, like, this bugged me. Because, yeah, I ended up erasing this hand. And it looks pretty good. And even, like, the knuckles there and I guess the bones in the hand sticking out, that all look pretty good. And it usually doesn't for me. It's like, shit, I gotta scrap all of that. And I did. And I think it was the right decision. Still like that hand, though. God damn it. Alright, I think this is around where I decided the end of the stream was going to be. Because this is the part that I usually need a break from after. Particularly when I've been drawing. Yeah, because like this, at this point I've been drawing for over 3 hours. in one sitting. That's how these live streams usually go. And, you know, the hair, it's usually enough that I take a short break after regardless. After 3 hours of drawing, yeah, no, I probably, you know, I think I sat for another like 4 or 5 hours. Just like, you know, I'm doing something else for a while now. That was enough drawing for this part of the day. Man, so many shinies. And it's a big close-up shot too, so you really got to get in there and get every single one. Oh well. Still looks pretty good. God damn it. Oh, I'm wrapping up the live stream. Oh, right. Oh, this is where we put the veins in Hard's arm. And of course, I looked to the master, Stephen Platt, for that. And just use a little bit of white media and then put some shadows along it. Yep, that all looks pretty good. And then I eventually decided we needed more veins. That does look quite good, though. Yeah, and here's some more veins. All over. And shade all of that. There we go, much better. That's much closer to what I was looking for. That looks ridiculous. I think that looks better than the Larson Bates. That's, yeah, no, that's, I very much like how that ended up looking. What the hell did I do with the light there? Everything worked all of a sudden. Add a bit more. Oh, this is, yeah, so this is afterwards. Shit. I wish I knew what I did with the light, because everything's in focus all of a sudden. But yeah, put the arm down like he's not prepared, and I think it adds a bit more impact to it. Hand doesn't look quite as good, but I'm, you know, it still looks, it doesn't look bad or anything. Yeah, I think it looks okay. All that arm. Yeah. So now we get to finish up everything that we left dangling after the live stream. I think that was the point I kind of decided that pen was done. Ah, well. And this I'm basically just mimicking what happened, what I did on the other leg here, only with a bigger quad shadow. And the little tendons in the back of the knee there. I like how those turned out. That feels right, you know. I'm not sure if it is, because I didn't look anything up for that, but I think it feels right. And now we're going to go speed lines. And this is a time-consuming affair, even in time-lapse. This ought to take a minute or two. But necessary. I mean, if you did like a static background in the background, you know that background? Like how boring would that be? Even, or like blurred or something, you know, like there's things you could do, I suppose. Whereas the speed lines, I was careful to have them move in the direction of the punch and to actually leave a band of white that doesn't cross over his arm or anything, because I felt like that, like the bottom of his arm, I felt that would weaken the punch a little. I think I was right too about that. And this was gonna be the flying against the wall shot here, which makes sense and is clear. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I thinking? No. It needs to be much closer. It needs to be more impact, more speed, more obfuscation. You know, it's not entirely clear what the fuck is even happening here, I don't think. But that'll get cleared up in the next page anyway. And in the meantime, this looks kind of cool. And I think that's the way to go. Get really kind of bunched up here, you know? Yeah. Not so much a storytelling page. You know, we're in the middle of a fight. If it's not like, as long as we're fairly clear where everybody is in relation to each other, I think that's really all that matters. Yeah, start to figure out some textures on these forearms. Still not so much on the backs of hands. Oh well. Yeah, this didn't end up taking too long, thankfully. And yeah, managed a shadow pattern here. I was like, wait a minute. That looks kind of awesome. So let's repeat this for the rest of the page. And it ends up looking kind of great. It doesn't look like a three-dimensional object, really. Almost. But yeah, no, it seemed like some kind of proper execution of double lighting for an image book. Trying to really get that hair flying, because he's flying away, flying away from us. Get some speed lines going. Yeah, try to get as much of the hair in there as possible. It's a lot. And like there's still not nearly enough there. We need way more hair. And this is all right. I've had page 17 taped to my board here for like the past month, because that's the first shot of Cyberzerk, and it's still the clearest one. And that's basically where I made up like 40% of his costume. So it's like, okay, I guess that's what he looks like. This hand didn't turn out terrible. It's a little bit Gilman-ish, but apart from that, not too bad. Toughest part is making it feel rounded. The fuck am I doing here? Anyway. Oh. It's time. Okay, I will say that shadow's a little irritating. The shadow of my head that goes across it here. You can see me like quizzically looking from side to side. Yeah, all looks pretty good. God damn it. And we're just gonna put like some cracks in a wall behind him here. try to remember whatever I learned from the Doomsday versus Superman page I did. I don't think I remember too much, really. So I kind of had to wing it again. But didn't end up looking too bad. And we're in the home stretch here. So it's like, oh my God, hurry. Hurry while you have energy. Yeah, all pretty good there, I'd say. Yeah, definitely thinking up the lines, always. And that'll do it. So, not too bad. And as you can see, I added in sound effects afterwards. At the time when I was drawing it, I did intend to put some in, and then I'd forget and draw speed lines all over everything. But, yeah, no, I just kind of whited out around the area and did, I think, some decent lettering there. That's, this kind of style is something I can repeat. It's just it doesn't work for something like a laser sound. You know, for impact, yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, no, that is not a bad page, I would have to say. Everything there looks pretty cool. Particularly hard in the top there. And it's like the one page in this issue where he looks cool. So, hey, it happened. It's gonna happen like once an issue. Everybody gets like one panel to look okay. It happened in issue 1 as well. Just it's usually Popo or Hawkstab or Shockblock. You know, Fireburn and Thor. Hard. Come on, man. Yeah, they're more, I don't know, relief. They get backup roles. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. I'm glad with how it turned out. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications. Go follow me on Twitter. More importantly, go over to my Patreon and subscribe there. That's where all of these pages go. That's where all the videos go before I upload them to YouTube, usually a week or so in advance. And that's where all of the Patreon exclusives, any process stuff, that's where all that ends up. So if you like behind-the-scenes stuff, then definitely go and check that out. It's well worth it. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.